Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Scott Week's Scott Con. We are so excited to have our next guest on, IONA CAIRNS. And IONA is coming to us from the Isle of Harris. And I'm so excited. Welcome, IONA. Thank you for being on with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to chat with you and tell you a wee bit about the Isle of Harris Distillery.
I'm so excited to have you on because I love the Isle of Harris. Now, for all of our viewers here in the States who have not yet visited the Isle of Harris, it is stunningly beautiful. And not only is this a beautiful picture that you have up here for us of your beautiful gin bottle, but the island is just stunning. I love it. And every time I've been out to Harris and hiked around, it has been a brilliantly sunny day. I feel like it has better weather than most of the rest of Scotland.
Absolutely. I mean, we always tell people when they're traveling to Harris to be prepared for all seasons, in one day. So pack your raincoat, but your sun hat too. But you're right, Cindy. I mean, it's such a special place. It's got beautiful beaches, fantastic landscape. More than that, there's such a lovely, warm community on the island. There's under 2,000 people that live in Harris, so it is small. But that just makes it even more special, and it really is this hidden away wee place in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland that's surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, and people that come always go away with very, very happy memories and want to return. So we're very lucky to have our distillery in such a magical place.
It truly is magic. And when we start to talk, before we start to talk about the gin itself, I just want to point out also to our viewers, you have a fantastic page on your website called The Journal, and it's all tales from the Isle of Harris. And I just want people to go on to the website and check out everything, of course, on the website, but most especially if you want to get a flavor of the Isle of Harris, go to the journals page and read about this and look at the beautiful scenery and pictures, because I guarantee you, after you visit this page and read about the people and read about the stories, you're going to want to go to Harris and take a tour of this distillery yourself.
Absolutely, we hope so. We hope so. And as you can see here, we have a wee taster of where Harris is, first of all, on the map of the UK. So anyone coming over, you make a journey right up north and right over to the west of Scotland. And we, I was in the States actually recently, Cindy, and I was saying to people, the next stop west really is America. We're right out in the Atlantic there. But as you mentioned, if you come and sign up to our journal, you'll get a newsletter every Friday from my colleague Mike from Harris, with beautiful pictures and wee stories and tales about what's going on. And also we're building up just our US database, because we are delighted to have launched the gin in the US last year. And we're now connecting with loads of people out there. So we even have our own US Isle of Harris Gin webpage, which I'll share the link with you. And can go on and find out your nearest stockist and a wee bit more about the island and everything from there as well.
Oh, and look at these pictures. And I'm telling you, these pictures don't even, as beautiful as they are, don't even do this island justice. They truly don't. And you must come out. And for all of you Outlander fans out there, I just want to point out that the circle stones outside of Stornoway are actually the stones that are used in the intro for Outlander and in the actual show. So they're not the stones near Inverness at all. They're actually stones near Stornoway. So if you're an Outlander fan, you must go and see the actual stones used for the story there. So Iona, tell us a little bit about yourself. Did you grow up in Harris?
I didn't actually, Cindy, but I have family connections to the island. And so I've always visited, and absolutely, how can you not fall in love with this magical place? And as I say, very lucky to have had family over in the Outer Hebrides to spend many holidays there. I am one of the few colleagues that am not from Harris originally. So the purpose of our distillery was, of course, to create jobs in the island. And to do that, we wanted to encourage people over to live on Harris, allow people that did live in Harris to stay there. Because, you know, there has been a bit of a decline in population in the recent years, and people have, you know, had to move away. So the whole purpose of our distillery was to provide sustainable employment and, you know, allow people, you know, all my colleagues to be able to stay, work, live on the island, which is really special. So although I am not originally from there, I, you know, absolutely, you know, adore the island and its people, and just so happy to be a wee part of the distillery story now as we're sharing the gin around the world.
Oh my goodness. And so how were you able to get involved in this amazing company? You mentioned that you have family connections to Harris. How did you get involved with the distillery?
Well, I was very lucky. I'd finished university. I was in Glasgow studying at uni, and I'd studied international business. And when I came out, wasn't quite sure what to do. And I was very lucky that it just landed at the same time that Isle of Harris Distillery was advertising a job. And at that time, my job was a brand ambassador. So it was actually based in Glasgow, which is a sort of exception to the rule, because as I say, all my colleagues are on Harris, but there's only a couple of us that are off the island, so that we are able to go around and share the story and share the product further afield with our customers. So at that time, I was based in Glasgow, and I worked with our bars and our restaurants and introducing them to our island spirit. That was over 3 years ago now. So now my role is international brand development. So I am incredibly lucky that I get to now work with the US market, and along with some of our other international markets that we import to. And part of my role now is sharing our story with the likes of yourselves in the US, and actually coming out. So I'm heading over to New York in 2 weeks, and hoping to be in California actually later this year. So really exciting to be able to, you know, take our island distillery story and our spirit over and share it with you guys.
How very wonderful. And so go ahead and tell us a little bit of the story, if you don't mind, and tell us how the distillery was started, where it's located, and how you all started to distill this beautiful gin. And I know that you do have eventually have some Scotch whiskey coming out, but that's in the future. That has to sit for a while, whereas gin does not.
Absolutely. Whiskey takes a bit more time than gin, as you say, but we, you know, a very good point to make. We are first and foremost a whiskey distillery, and we are, you know, really excited that in the future we'll have a single malt whiskey out to share with you all. But it's, you know, as we say in Harris, life takes time. We don't like to rush things, and, you know, the whiskey will be ready when it's ready. But it's really exciting. We're really excited about that, and, you know, hopefully we'll be able to share some more with you soon. At the moment, it's maturing on the island. When it is launched, it will be called the Hedach. Now, the Hedach is a Gaelic word. So Gaelic is our native language in Scotland, and still, you know, still used actively in the Outer Hebrides and on Harris today. So Hedach is a Gaelic word for someone that is from Harris. So that's what you would be known as. So that is going to be the name of our single malt whiskey. And just, yeah, a wee bit about the story then. So I suppose, you know, just saying there about Hedach, the name of the whiskey, being a nod to the people of the island, you know, that's really why the distillery was built in Harris. I touched on it earlier, you know, about employment, and the reason for our distillery being there is to provide employment, to provide career opportunities for the people of Harris to stay and live and work there, and to encourage people over, which, you know, not only is great for the distillery, but also hopefully will help all, you know, other businesses on the island. You know, we want to share Harris with everyone. It's a special place, and we want to encourage people over, and, you know, we would love to encourage people to stay and live and work there. And it all started, you know, this idea of how can we help this rural, small Scottish island keep people and bring people over, actually started with our founder, Anderson Bakewell, and he is American originally, and he has been coming to Harris for a long time now. And he absolutely fell in love with the island and just felt a real sense of home there, and takes his family over and became very well known in the community. And after spending, you know, a number of years visiting the island, he, through his own eyes, had seen the, you know, the struggles that local people face to find jobs, and were maybe moving away because they couldn't have career opportunities. So he thought, well, what better way than a distillery to provide sort of employment, but also a way to, you know, create a product that the people of Harris could be proud of. And, you know, we're delighted that with Isle of Harris gin, and, you know, one day with our single malt whiskey, that the people of Harris will be so proud to share it with everyone. And it's like bottling Harris up in a bottle. You know, I say that when I share the gin with people. I say, you can imagine this unique, special place, and it's just all bottled up in here. And through the look of the bottle and the taste of the gin, you know, we wanted something that would represent the Isle of Harris. And yeah, that's what we hope to have achieved.
Oh my goodness. And the bottle is stunningly beautiful. It really is. I look for bottles because I like to put the little cork lights from Amazon into bottles. I've drank whatever's in them. If they're really pretty. This is one of those bottles I'm going to be doing. I won't be throwing bottles out at all. I'll be keeping all of them. They're so but it's very distinct, and I am so excited to be able to taste it, hopefully very soon, and be able to see what that's like. How can people try this whiskey or order this whiskey? How can people here in the States get their hands on a bottle of
on it? Oh. Well, for the gin just now that we have in the States, so we have our webpage, our US webpage, which I'll share the link to. And if you scroll down on that page, we have a stockist sheet. So you type in your zip code, you type in your area, your state, and it'll come up with all the stores that currently stock Isle of Harris gin. And if you have a local liquor store out there that you would like to recommend to us that stock, then we'd love to hear that, you know, from you as well. We're constantly trying to share the gin out across the US. So we're currently in 11 states at the moment, I should say. So if we're not quite in your state yet, then let us know, and we'll hopefully get there soon.
Oh my goodness, how very fun. So we'll definitely put the links in the description down below so that everybody can find you.